Hey.
No, brother. So, man, go ahead. Let the people at home know shit. Who we here with?
Shit, we here with Vauniis, bro. Southside Chicago, artists. I make all type of music, bro.
Bro, so pretty much how we start off all our interviews, right? Just a little icebreaker, get warmed up for the camera. Some fun little questions that we got for you. Alright, so first question that we gonna have: favorite song or artist that you're listening to right now?
Fat Man for sure. Yeah, 100%. And then the song, man, probably Moonlight. Like at the moment, yeah, Moonlight by Fat Man.
Okay, bad. Alright, question number 2: favorite shoe in your closet?
Shoe in my closet. Ooh. See, look, I might throw them off with this. But I'm gonna go with my mellows on bro. I'm hooping in them. Don't they so Ross the Ninja Turtle crossover?
Okay.
Don't they so tough?
What turtle you got though?
I got oh my god, I should know this. I got Michelangelo and Donatello. I think is it orange and blue? Yeah, I think
yeah. Ooh, blue, that's Leonardo.
Oh, Leo.
Oh god, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Ninja Turtles nerd, but that was my childhood type shit. Well, third, favorite fashion brand right now?
Fashion brand?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I'd probably just be cool with like Nike, bro, on some simple.
Chill shit, bro.
Yeah.
So you rocking a Nike Tech?
Yeah.
Nike Tech type of guy?
Yeah, I ain't got that many. I got like 3. I think.
Oh shit, nigga, I got 0. You
shit, that's more than me. Oh bro, I'm like shit.
Yeah.
All right, and then fourth and final, right? Favorite go-to snack when you get the munchies?
Ooh. Takis for sure. Like you can't go wrong with a sour.
Which ones though?
The regular.
Regular bread for sure.
Yo, you gotta go the sour, like the straws, the sour punch straws.
Oh,
yeah.
bro.
Back, yeah. Them the ones.
No Bev?
Bev. See, I'm a water kind of guy for. I ain't gonna lie.
That's real, bro. You say essentials.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So, shit, we just gonna jump pretty much right into it. All right, so one more time, so let the people know, shit, who they, sitting here watching today.
Bro, yeah, with Vauniis, Vaunis, all type of music, Chicago artist, Southside though.
Oh, bro, yeah, born and raised on the South Side.
Yeah, I was born on the low end. I don't even know the neighborhood, but it was about like Mercy Hospital. That's where I was born at, bro. And then I had I always lived on the South Side. Like I moved like couple places, but all on the South Side. So I'm still on the South Side.
Oh, bro, shit. And tell us like a little bit more about what life was like for you growing up.
I ain't gonna lie, like it was cool. Like I ain't gonna lie, and it's crazy because I was really like, I used to go outside all the time, but it was like, it was never, usually people be like, man, I used to go outside, motherfuckers be shooting, doing this, and I wasn't really like, I ain't never really had to, go through all that, but it was cool. It was chill.
Yeah.
Just going to school. Outside playing with the, friends in the neighborhood.
Calm little childhood life, you feel me? Not too crazy. Yeah. Shit. Was growing up was music something that was like a big part of your life, or did that kind of come later on?
Nah, 100%. Like I ain't gonna lie. I think like my earliest like memory was like, my mama being around the house cleaning up. Everybody black childhood growing up. You hear the church music and the R&B music and stuff like that. And then my dad, he was like he a really good singer. Like he don't really like, he not a music maker, but he could sing real good.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I was just kind of born into it. I don't know.
Bro, you said pops in the note, be like, damn, hold on.
You gonna put your pops on the song, bro?
Shit,
like,
if you wanna get on one, I'd love to get on one.
That's right. For sure. So hearing like mom was like heavy into R&B, pop was a singer. Would you say that kind of growing up hearing like those more melodic sounds kind of played into the type of music that you make today?
No, 100%, yeah, for sure. And then I also think like hearing more melodic stuff put me into other realms. Like I'll be listening to all type of pop, country,
bro.
Everything. If it sounds good, it sounds good. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a picky kind of guy.
Yeah. Who would you say kind of the top? You could name 3 artists, right, who you would say kind of influenced you and your sound the most, right? Mentioning that you listen to all these different genres. Who would those 3 be?
I'd say Fago for sure. Juice WRLD. And probably Fat Mac. Yeah, probably them three.
Yeah. No, that's a good balance. And I feel like, when you listen to your music, like, you could definitely kind of, not necessarily hear the influences in the sense of, like, you sound like these people, right? But I feel like the way that you're able to, like, rap the beat, catch flow is, like that heavy rapping skill, but then, like, that should be wavy as hell, too, which is, like, where the melodic parts come into.
Yeah.
What age were you when you made your first song?
Oh, my first song, I think I was 16. I ain't gonna lie, I think I was 16. Yeah, I had the Apple headphones.
Yeah.
I think everybody started on band lab Apple
Right.
headphones.
For sure.
Put on the beat, just
No, that's real. Jet, you remember what the song was named? Or it's about? Is it? And can we listen to it anywhere? Or that's never
it's
seen
not
the
out.
light of day?
It's definitely not out. No, I can't put that out. It was bad, like, and people would tell me, like, oh man, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, this, you got it, like, I'm nah, for like, I ain't gonna lie, this is not it, but yeah, I think it was called, man, I want to say it was called Japan, but yeah, I think it was called Japan.
Bro, so just thinking about first making your first ever song, going on YouTube probably, right, looking for the beat, right, letting know band, I got the Apple headphones, kind of, what was your life like around that time that kind of, encouraged you to make that push and be like, you know what, I'm gonna record a song?
I don't know, like, I was always so, like, heavy into music, so it was just like, it was really bound to happen, and I was just like, man, like, for the longest time, like, when I was a kid, I was like, man, like, I never really wanted to be, like, an artist.
Yeah.
But I was always like, if I wanted to, like, I ain't gonna lie, I got this, but like, I could really do that if I wanted to. So like, I really got that shit in the bag. And then, but like, yeah, that's kind of.
No, for sure. And like just hearing you say like, when you thought about it, you was like, nah, I could for sure do that.
Yeah.
Would you say that like you always just had that confidence in like yourself for yourself and your abilities to like just do anything in life?
Yeah, probably come from my mama though. She with the affirmations and stuff like that. Like, she just tell me like, you can really do anything you want because you my son. So that's
For real.
just rock with that.
No, that's real as hell. Shit. Did you ever, or when you first started making all music, did you feel like there were, challenges though, challenges and moments where it was like, damn, shit, maybe I should just like not do this shit no more?
The only time that them type of thoughts come to me is when I'm trying to make something and I just can't. Like, it's just like, it's like writer's block, but on the mic, like, so it's just like, I got the beat, like, and I just can't generate the words to say, and it's like, man, like, this the last song, like, that's the last song I made, that's it, like, I can't think of nothing else. And
that's crazy. I never thought of it that way.
And then when I get out of that, like, I forget about it and just come back to it on some effortless type of shit, and then it just, it just go like that.
You feel like you kind of find yourself in like having those moments of writer's block, right, when you are trying too hard?
Yeah, I think that make it worse. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think we try too hard to produce. It put a lot of stress on your mind. So yeah, I think we do it subconsciously. It come out better.
So when you are, taking the time and making these songs, right? What like space would you say you draw your inspiration from?
Probably just like whenever I go and I make a song, it just really comes from memories, like whatever I done experienced or however I'm feeling at the moment. I just feed off that.
Yeah. No, that's real. I feel like for a lot of artists, that's the way it is for like all of us, in the sense of like music for us is like an outlet. Would you agree with that?
Yes, 100%. Like it's like I just seen this other interview of almost 1700. He was basically saying like it's like a confession. Like it's like because he said this too. Like it's like the stuff that I say on the mic, I never. It's just like it's some stuff I say on the mic I never tell a person. Like it's just it's weird like that. I don't know how it works, and it's like they gonna hear it, but I can't tell them. Like
Nah, that
shit is weird.
And that's actually something that I've never even thought of about, because like I done definitely said some crazy shit, like in the sense of like, damn, I can't believe I said that, or like I'm being like really vulnerable right now, right? So Mm. That's a very interesting perspective to have. Yeah. Kind of, knowing that like your life is like a reflection, or I mean, your music is like a reflection of your life, right? Do you ever feel like there's kind of like a push and pull between like I want to say something, but like I shouldn't, or like kind of the opposite of that?
I want to say sometimes, like, but for majority of the time, it's just like, if I think it, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna say it, cause like, somebody else, 1,000 people might disagree, but if 2 people do agree, then we got something in common, and that's really, I like being able to relate to people, like even if it's the minority that I'm relating to, they can still have somewhere to go where it's like, oh man, like he feel the same way I'm feeling. I just thought that yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's real as hell. Would you say that that's kind of like the reason why you make music? It's like more so connect with people rather than clout reasons and shit like that.
For sure, because it's like that's what other artists do for me. So it's just like I listen to them and they going through this same thing that I'm going through. So it's like I know that I'm going through the same thing somebody else going through. Somebody going through what I'm going through. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Man, have you heard of like the New Chicago movement?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Interesting. So pretty much, I would say like over like the past year, probably like year and a half, right? There's been a kind of shift in the scene of like moving away from like that drill sound, right? What's your opinion on like the current Chicago music scene? And like where do you kind of feel like you fall into play?
Currently, I definitely do think drill is spotlight for sure, but it's always been like that because it's kind of a Chicago thing,
Yeah.
But I do. Like lately, I've been seeing more people move away from that. They kind of going into the more melodic stuff, and I think I fit in. See me, I see myself as real versatile. Like I got all type of music, Even though I don't really do the drill, just because I don't drill,
Yeah.
So it's just like, but yeah, I think I'm real versatile. So I'm kind of in the middle, all that. But I do. I like the shift of, I'd rather have it be more open to everybody instead of just drill, because everybody don't live that type of life, So
Yeah,
it's
real.
like, yeah.
Would you say you're underground? Would you identify with the underground section?
Underground for sure.
For sure. That's all.
And hearing you also say, kind of, you don't make drill music, right, per se, because that's not the type of life that you live.
Right.
What would your advice be for a newer artist, right? Growing up in the city, and they're taking in all these different influences, right? How did pretty much, if you were looking at yourself, right, from when you were first making your first song, what's some advice that you would give yourself?
I would say, really just be yourself for real. Like, make the music that relates to you. Like when you listen to this, you like, man, I feel like you should have something you can think back to after every bar that you say. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be something that you can relate to. And then it's even sometimes, you could do what you want for real. You could say some stuff that you ain't never did. A little cap ain't never heard nobody go for real. But I think just kind of keep it more about you personally.
Yeah. Real. What does creating a song look like for you, start to finish?
Start to finish. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it real, gotta start the PC, it takes so long, bro. I ain't gonna lie, oh my god, I'm just sitting there like shit, then I lose motivation, bro. Real. Then, I go on YouTube, search up, I don't even search beats no more, I just search up so many beats that the beats just pop up on my home, so I got all type of different variety, so I just go through, pick a song, as soon as I hit, I get the, mumbling, blah, 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 but as I'm doing that, I'm putting it into the converter, moving it to FL, put it on go to the presets, put them on. Now I got it going, I record, mumbling something. I find my flow, and then I'll keep mumbling. Go back when I'm done. I record the whole mumble, go back, and then I put the lyrics down.
Like actually over.
Yeah. And then that's how I do that. And then after that, I go through the ad libs. And then once I do that, depending on how this hat sound, I master it or I just leave it how it is.
Real.
Yeah.
Do you ever like write or do you mainly freestyle?
I don't write. I ain't gonna lie, I don't write. Everything I say I don't freestyle, but I don't write. It just
not
I punch in. So I say one thing, say another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you kind of like mumbling or kind of like humming out the melody beforehand, like the flow of it makes it easier for you to kind of find those bars to punch?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I ain't gonna lie. Even when I do mumble, I listen to the mumble and try to hear words in the mumble.
No, real.
Like that. Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
How do you know like when you're ready to drop?
I don't. I ain't gonna lie. It's just people be like, man, you don't never drop, you know, or they'll send me, like, my homies will send me all type of memes and stuff, like, I don't drop. And then I'll be like, alright. And then I'll just go and put probably, like I used to put, like, 2 releases in, and then them will go out, and then it's a long period of time where there's no drops, and here come the memes again. And then it's like, yeah. But recently, I've been kind of consistent, you know, I just go in there, and then I go through my songs from oldest to newest, because I want to put out the stuff that I already have, first to new, and then I put those in. And when I'm doing like projects and stuff, it'll take me a little while to put it together in a way that makes sense, you know. And then
I definitely get that.
So yeah.
What do you feel like is kind of, well, when it comes to like you not dropping, right? Even though you have the songs, kind of, what's that process like? Or like necessarily, why does it kind of take you like a little bit longer to kind of put out the music? You know, when you're necessarily sitting on it. I feel like that's a problem that a lot of artists have.
Yeah. Man, like I really don't know what the science is behind it, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like the problem is that, you know, after so long, when you don't see the results that you think you should have, it kind of demotivates you, you know. But I've been trying to, you know, get out of that man space. It's like, you know, you ain't really owe nothing. You know, you got to put in the work to get to it. You got to stay consistent. I think it's all really like a test, like if you're going to stay consistent or not. And so a lot of people, I think that's the hump that majority of artists got to get over and take it to the next step. So I'm trying to, you know, that's why I'm trying to be consistent right now.
Yeah, speaking of, you know, the most recent drop, right? Tell me more about One of a Kind.
Oh man, One of a Kind. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, like when I made it, it was just like, I was just thinking back to when I was a kid. Like I was like once I found, so I could sing too, just like my dad. Like I probably found that out from him and my mom, because my mom used to sing, you know, all the time too. But like when I was in school and stuff, they had me on the intercom singing like the Black National Anthem, you know. And then, you know, it's like one of them things where it's like, you know, you got it. Like you walk back in the classroom, they like, oh, that was you know what I'm saying? So it's like I knew I had it. Then I was on stage like in middle school. I had solos and stuff. Like I was in talent shows, all types of stuff. Like, I had a really good voice, so I knew like I'm, you know, one of a kind. Like everybody can't do that type of stuff, you know. So it's really like a talent. I think you gotta kind of seek out like something to use your talent on, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, that's where the title kind of came from, where I found that inspiration of the bars and stuff like that.
Real one of a kind shit. You feel me? No, that's super dope. You know, and just scrolling through like your pretty much like your Apple Music and stuff, a lot of collaboration. You know, how important is collaboration to you as an artist?
To keep it real, I think that the more that you can do alone kind of shows your talent a little bit more, you know. But I do think that some people do compliment your talent well. So and I think it's necessary, you know, to connect with people, you know, like network around. I think it's pretty important to a career, you know, but I do think it's not necessary, you know.
No, definitely.
So, yeah.
Is there anybody who you have had the pleasure of working with though, where it was like, damn, like we make really good music together, and like you would do it again? Yeah,
me and my boy 300, Jordan. Yeah, he tough. I ain't gonna lie. He's my roommate in college. Bro, that's the guys. Like to this day, he cool as hell. Like it's like every song we make, it's just like it's a banger. Like I don't know, like everybody, you know, fuck with it. So it's like yeah, 300 for sure.
Is there anybody else, you know, not necessarily, well, from the city in particular, that I would say, you know, that you would want to work with?
Honestly, keep it real, I think I would have no problem working with anybody from the city. I think more people from the city need to start working together for real. Like, you know, because when you look at Chicago, everybody think danger, kill.
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody separated. Everybody, it's like, bro, you can't even walk down. You walk down this street, it's these people. They beefing with. You can see them on the other blocks. Most of them, like, oh, you know, like, come on, we gotta cut all that shit out. I ain't gonna lie. Now, at some point, obviously, you know, shit just, some stuff is really not fixable instantaneously, but it's just like a lot of shit be childish. For like, put that shit down. For like, it's not that serious.
You know? Bro, you just focus on making good music. You know, shit. A lot of this shit will be solved, right?
Yeah, I think we need some more collaborations in the city for sure.
For sure, brother. Now, man, what else can, like, you know, we expect from you for the rest of the year, bro? What you got planned?
Man, I got a single coming out on the what's the 15th? On the 20th. Then I got a album coming out. Well, it's kind of like an album EP. It's 10 songs on the 27th. Then I got 2 more EPs after that. Yeah.
You wasn't planning about getting consistent with that.
Let's go. Bro, I gotta step it up. You know, it's about that time.
Hell yeah. Shit. Before we head out, man, let the people know one more time who they rocking with and where they can find you.
Rocking with Vauniis, Vauniis. You know, you'll be the hottest in Chicago one day. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, bro.
You already know again.
You got socials?
Just Uzi on IG, JU 4 S's, UZII, and then TikTok. I think it's the same thing, or it's the same SAME UZII.
That. Shit. Appreciate you stopping through today, bro. Chopping it up with us, bro. Make sure y'all go check out my boy music, bro. I ain't gonna lie, he be sliding on shit. It's perfect for the summer too, bro. Y'all gonna wanna make sure that some of that shit in y'all playlist for this upcoming summer. That's for sure. But love, brother. Glad you can slide through that.
Smoke a couple blunts till I get numb. Hoe all in my face, talking all that rah-rah. Bitch, I ain't tryna hear none. Pretty bitches and shit that's materialistic. That's how we have fun. Nigga try to take what I got, I'ma stand my ground. Young nigga, I tell how to run me. I could've jumped in the streets like everybody.